Good morning, everyone out there in YouTube land. My name is Jared, and this is my channel, Mazda B3K. In this video, we are going to replace the cab clearance lights, more commonly, colloquially known as chicken chasers, on my 1989 Ford F350 named Bertha behind me. Without further ado, let's get started. So, you may have seen these on bigger trucks and big rigs and things like that and wondered, well, what are these and what do they do and why do I have them? Da, 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 da. These are called cab clearance lights, and they are required on any vehicle that is over the standard light duty width of 80 inches on a vehicle. So because this is a dually, has four tires in the back, and is wider than normal, more than 80 inches, it required these. This is a DOT standard. So you got these. They're commonly called chicken chasers. I'm not 100% why, but they are. And as you can see, mine are pretty worn out. The actual lights still work, but the lenses and housings are pretty shot. So I bought new ones. And to replace it, pretty straightforward stuff here. You've got two screws. In this case, we've got a Phillips here and a slot over there. And we need to rotate this bulb housing so that it will pop out and we can lift this light housing out of the way. And then we should just be able to swap it out. So here's what I wound up getting. This was only about $20 on Amazon, and all it is the housing and the lens. It does not contain a pigtail, it does not contain a bulb, does not contain a connector. Well, actually, I lied. It does have those right here. And what this kit is for is more if you wanted to add cab clearance lights to your vehicle. This is the stock Ford style from, it's like 1980 to 1997. It's a pretty broad range, but this should just bolt right in. And this kit comes with your screws, like I said, your pigtails, and your housings and your lens. So you can see this is your weather gasket on the bottom right here. So you take the old one out, you put this down, you get it decently tight, and then that compresses against the top of the cab, the roof of the cab, and that's how water stays out. What's really common is folks will put LEDs in these to make them more bright. The transmission in this truck is notoriously fickle when it comes to electrics. So I'm going to just use the regular incandescents. I will replace these with LEDs, but generally the LEDs that go in here are smart enough that they still draw the same load. So you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, let me get some tooling and we'll get this changed out. All right, let's see here. Yeah, that wasn't crazy tight. Get the rest of this out by hand. I'll compare that to what I've got in my new kit and make sure that it's an appropriate length. Make sure everything will be good. I don't know why this is slotted. I'm suspecting that this has been replaced and somebody lost the hardware, is my thought. So at this point, yeah, I'm gonna have to pry on this a little bit. I don't know if someone siliconed it or it's just been here so long that it's kind of stuck. The last thing you're gonna wanna do, like I said, is squeeze these tabs and try to rotate. May need to take some pliers to, never mind, that one broke. But just get this rotated over so it lines up with these slots, so then you can push it in. And then we'll see if I can't get this thing out. Yeah, there it goes. Just kind of stuck. All right, so there's our pigtail, and that's still the original Ford pigtail. So if this was totally thrashed, I could just splice in a new one, right? and maybe I will, maybe I won't, because the locking tabs are broken, but we'll see. See if I want to put that level of effort in. And there we go. And these metal things are important. What that tells me is this light grounds by the screw touching this. So don't lose these. They need to stay where they are. There we go. This is a glance at the original paint. As you can see, this is pretty heavily oxidized, and I think somebody did a rattle can repaint at some point in the past, because it's all peeling up and looks kind of gross, but you know, got the truck for about $3,000, so you get what you get. All right, let me go grab the new light. So I found a difference here. This is my new one, and that's the pattern for the pigtail, and this is the old one. I think this might have been the original Ford one. You can see that's bigger. So this is not gonna fit in that unless I do some cutting and splicing, which that's kind of poopy. I can do that. Don't want to do that because I think that's dumb, but my options are either I do that or I have to take like a grind wheel or something and shave this down to make it fit inside of that. So either process is kind of annoying, but you can see if you pull this out a little further, this is a connector right here. So what I could do is just trim this kind of up here, and that'll give me plenty of wire to splice some stuff in if necessary. Only problem I've got is that would be 10 splices I would need to make, because we have 5 lights, 2 wires per light. I don't think I have enough splices left, like butt splices. I would have to go buy some more, which again, it's kind of dumb, but that's where we are. Let me ponder what I want to do and I'll get back to you guys. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm back, and I need to grab one more tool real quick. There we are. So we're gonna go ahead and trim this right up at the connector head, so we have as much wire as we need to deal with this. And then we're gonna need a pigtail. All right, we have pigtail. So the pigtail gives us some wiring. Not tremendous amount, but some. So this way we've got some flexibility on getting this attached, and we should just be able to shove the extra wiring into this false space right here. Now, looks like they did a pretty basic black is ground, red is hot. And for Ford, on this wiring, I'm gonna guess here, your black is still gonna be your ground, and then your brown is your hot. So, I'm gonna get this sticker out of the way. Come on. There we go. Take a look at our wires. They look all right. So if you've watched this channel a lot, you've probably seen this process before, but we're gonna go ahead and make a splice real quick. So just use my wire trimming tool, and we'll, hopefully you guys were seeing that, I'm not sure. But use wire trimming tool, trim that off, slide wire in. Then I have a crimping tool. It is color coded, so we're going to use the red setting, and we're going to crimp just one side where the wire is, like that. And give her a tug, good and tight. So then on the other side of that, we're saying that this is our positive. So we'll go ahead and we'll strip the red for positive here. Much thinner wire, but it's still copper, which that's impressive. A lot of folks are switching to aluminum because it's cheaper. So you're going to feed that in and get your crimpers again. Come in on the other side if I can sneak it in. Because the trick of it here is you also, you got to keep your stuff from sliding around. Get that crimp done. Okay, we're not going anywhere, so that's one. Then we'll go ahead, and I won't film it because it's the same process, but we'll do the same thing on our negative, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do a quick test. Make sure that our bulb still lights up and we're still good to go. Okay, so we've got our new socket wired in with our bulb. I'm gonna go hit the switch and you guys tell me. I'm gonna kind of point it over here. You guys tell me if that turns on or not. Yeah, looks like that turned on. So life is good. This bulb's got some wear on it. I may swap it out with another 194 I have. But one thing I did notice though is if you sink this all the way in, it actually covers up some of the bulb. So just sink it in deep enough that it engages. All right, so let's go ahead and get this in the new housing here. So you just push it in. You're gonna rotate to lock it. One of these directions. Maybe it's counter. Looking at it here, I'd say it's rotate to the right. There it goes. Give her a tug, make sure it doesn't come out. Okay, so I'll do one more check to make sure everything still lights up and see how it looks inside the housing. And after that, I'll heat shrink these down because these are for weatherproofing, which is kind of what you need up here. And then I'll screw that in and move on to the next one. And so this is what we look like once we're installed and we're set up. I think that's going to look pretty good. So I'll put the new one in, and then what I have shown you here, you're going to repeat 4 more times as you go across the rest of your cab clearance lights. All right, there we go, ladies and gents. That is 5 for 5, and I know it's hard to tell because now they're in full sunlight, but all 5 of them are working. I've got them all in. And the good news here is, other than looking good and actually not being worn out anymore, these are still made. The original Ford ones aren't. So I should be able to still get pigtails if I need them. I can get lenses and housings if I need them. Now I've got an ecosystem that is sustainable versus the original Ford ones that I just threw out. But this is a good repair. Alrighty folks, that's going to do it for this video where we changed out the cab clearance lights on my 1989 Ford F350 named Bertha. If you like this video, if you found it entertaining, if you learned something, please consider sharing, and subscribing. That does help to grow the channel, which allows me to bring you more content like this. Also, please leave a comment. I like to read them, I like to reply to them, and I like to learn from them. Lastly, guys, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. I'll catch you guys next episode.